My name is Laurent. I've been married to my husband, Rick, for almost 10 years. We have a little boy named Michael, and from the outside, everything looks perfect. A cozy house in the suburbs, a small garden I used to take pride in, laughter at the dinner table. Rick works hard, sometimes too hard, but he's a good man, a caring father, a loyal partner, someone who's always tried to provide the best life for us. But life isn't always what it seems. Not all smiles are real, and not all hearts are whole. 6 months ago, we hired someone to help around the house, Alex. He was quiet, polite, and hardworking. He took care of the garden, cleaned the house, and sometimes helped with Michael. At first, I barely noticed him. He was just there. Another helping hand in our busy lives. But things started to shift the night I came home late from work. Rick was still at the office. Michael was already asleep. And Alex, he was sitting in the kitchen, reading a book, quietly sipping tea. I was tired, emotionally drained from a long day. I sat down across from him, just needing someone to talk to. What surprised me was, he listened, really listened. He told me about his life, how he moved here from another city, how he lived alone, how he didn't have family nearby. There was something gentle in his voice, something that felt safe. That night, I felt seen, and I didn't realize how much I'd missed that feeling. When Rick had to leave for a 3-day business trip, things changed even more. It was just me, Michael, and Alex. On the first night, we had dinner together. After putting Michael to bed, we talked like old friends. We laughed, shared small stories, and for the first time in a long while, I felt alive. That's when it happened. A kiss. It was small, quick, but it shook me to my core. I pulled away, heart racing. It was a mistake, I whispered. Alex didn't say anything. He just looked at me with eyes full of something I didn't want to name. That night, I couldn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling, guilt curling deep inside my chest. What did I just do? I love Rick. I do, don't I? How could I kiss someone else? I promised myself it wouldn't happen again. I swore it was just a slip, a moment of weakness, but a few days later, it happened again. This time the kiss was longer, deeper, real, and I didn't stop it. Something in me wanted it, needed it. I was drawn to Alex in a way I couldn't explain. It wasn't just about passion. It was about feeling noticed, appreciated, wanted. But that want came with a price. A secret, one that grew heavier each day. Rick returned home, unaware. He kissed me like usual. He held Michael in his arms and laughed with us at the dinner table. Life looked normal, but I wasn't the same. I had crossed a line, and there was no going back. Every time I looked at Rick, guilt washed over me like cold water. When I kissed him goodnight, I saw Alex's face. When I tucked Michael in, I thought about the lie I was living. Alex never said much. We never spoke about what happened. But in the quiet moments, our eyes would meet, and everything was said without words. I was torn in two. Half of me clung to my life, to Rick, to Michael, to everything I built. The other half burned. Then came the twist I never expected. One night, unable to sleep, I reached for Rick's phone. I never checked his messages before. I never felt the need to, but something inside me whispered, "Look," and there it was. Messages from a woman, sweet, flirty, personal, A name I didn't recognize. A place he said he'd been, but never mentioned to me. My heart dropped. He was hiding something too. At first I was angry, furious. How could he? I was his wife, the mother of his child. But then, reality hit. I had done the same. We were both living a lie. I didn't know what to do. Should I confront him? Should I confess? Or should we just keep pretending? The silence between us grew, louder each day, until one night, I broke. After dinner, with Michael asleep and Alex gone, I turned to Rick. My hands trembled. My voice cracked. But I couldn't carry the weight anymore. I need to tell you something, I said. His eyes narrowed. What is it? I kissed someone, I whispered. More than once. He stared at me, silent. I told him everything. About Alex. About the nights he was away. About how lost I felt. I cried. I apologized. I begged for his forgiveness, though I wasn't sure I deserved it. And then, he looked at me. I've been seeing someone too, he said quietly. The room went still. We just sat there. Two broken people holding pieces of a shattered life. It hurt, deeply. But strangely, it also brought clarity. For the first time there were no secrets. We talked, really talked, for hours, about our marriage, about the cracks we ignored, about how lonely we both felt, even sleeping in the same bed. We decided to try, not because it was easy, but because we still loved each other, and we owed it to ourselves, and to Michael. The next morning, we let Alex go. It was hard. He didn't ask why. He just nodded, gathered his things, and left. Michael cried. He didn't understand. I told him Alex found a new job. It wasn't a full lie, but it wasn't the full truth either. That's what hurt the most. Rick and I started counseling. At first, it was awkward, painful, but little by little, we began to understand. Why did I kiss Alex? Because I felt invisible. Why did Rick turn to someone else? Because he felt unappreciated. We weren't trying to destroy each other. We were trying to survive in silence. Trust, once broken, takes time to rebuild. For a while. Rick watched me closely. If I stayed late at work, he asked questions. I couldn't blame him. I did the same. But day by day, we worked at it. We started having dinner together again, playing with Michael, going for walks. We made new rules. No more secrets. No more silence. Months passed. The pain faded, little by little. One weekend, we left Michael with my sister and took a short trip to the coast, just the two of us. It was our first time alone since everything happened. We walked along the beach, laughed, remembered who we used to be. On the last night, Rick reached into his pocket and pulled out a small box. Inside was a simple, new wedding ring. I want us to start over, he said. Tears filled my eyes. I love you, Rick, I said. I love you too, Laurent. We still go to counseling, not because we're broken, but because we want to stay whole. Sometimes I think about Alex. I wonder where. He is now. Sometimes I still feel the echo of guilt, but I no longer let it define me. Our marriage isn't perfect, but it's real, and it's honest. We learned the hard way that love isn't about never making mistakes. It's about facing them. Together, Michael is happy. He doesn't remember much about Alex, and I'm glad. He sees a home filled with love, laughter, and two parents who never gave up. And that's the only legacy I want to leave behind. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. See you in the next story.